I built this thing called GMBFlow to automate the whole Google rating process for my business. Basically, I'll add my customers here in the system, it sends them a review request, and if they leave a good review, it takes them straight to Google. I wanted to record the actual setup because there's quite a bit going on behind this. The app, n8n, the workflows, emails, all of it. So I'm just going to set the whole thing up from scratch and see if I can get the entire flow working end to end. So I already have the project on GitHub, so I'm going to clone it first. I'm using SSH here, but you can use HTTPS as well. Once that's cloned, I'll open the project in Cursor. Now I just need to install the dependencies. I'm using yarn here, so I'll run yarn install and let that finish. And I'm using Cursor for this, but you can use OpenCode, Claude, or pretty much any other coding agent. The steps will be the same as long as you follow along with the setup. Now I'm going to set up the environment variables. There are three things I need here: the n8n webhook URL, the n8n API key, and the local URL for the app. I'll create a .env file in the project and add these three values. For the API key, I'll grab that directly from my n8n instance. I'll create a new key, give it a name so I know what it's being used for, and copy it. Then I'll come back to the .env file and add it here. For the webhook URL, just copy the URL from your n8n instance and add it here. And for the app URL, I am running this locally, so I'll leave it as it is. Now I'll give this to the agent and let it handle the setup. I'll ask it to read the readme MD file, use the n8n MCP, and set up the GMBFlow workflows and tables on my n8n instance. It will create everything, test it, and check that everything is working properly. Okay, the setup is done. I've got the local URL from the agent, so I'll open that in the browser. So here is the GMBFlow app. I'll start by creating a workspace for the business. For this demo, I'm using Acme Dental. I'll add the business name here and then I'll add the Google Place ID where I want to collect the reviews. I'll grab the Place ID from Google, add it here and finish the onboarding. So here is the dashboard. Now I need to add some leads who will receive the review requests. I can either add them manually or upload a CSV. I'm going to use the CSV option, but before that, I want to set up the email template first. This is the email that will actually go to the customer, so I want to make it specific for my business. I can simply ask the AI to create an email template for me. Once I've created the template, I can move on to adding the leads. I'll use the CSV upload here and add my customer list to GMBFlow. I already have the sample customer data ready, so I'll just upload the file and let the app import the leads. Now I'll assign the template to the lead and send the review request. Once I send it, the email goes directly to the lead. If it fails, check your n8n email setup or ask the agent to help fix it. The lead receives the email, they'll get a link to leave their review. This is the preview of the review form where they can select their rating and leave their feedback. Now I am going to give it a lower rating and see what happens. The rating gets stored in the n8n tables along with the feedback from the customer. But if I give the service a positive rating, the flow gives me the Google review link instead. When I open that link, it takes me directly to the Google review box where I can leave the review. And this whole flow is customizable. So you can change what happens based on the rating or how you want to handle the feedback. And that's it. GMBFlow is up and running and the review flow is working end to end. If you want to set this up yourself, you can find the project and setup details in the description. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments.